Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. Let's get into the Valentine's Day spirit. I have the new Nomad Cosmetics Verona Love and Death palette to try out for you guys today. The team at Nomad Cosmetics was kind enough to gift me with this little beauty right here. This palette represents the two star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet. This palette is going to drop on January the 24th, I believe at 12 AM CST. If that's different, I will have it updated in the description box, and it's going to retail for $47. You can use my code STEFF10 to take 10% off of your order. That is an affiliate code, so if you do end up using it, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. This is going to be an 18 pan eyeshadow palette full of matte and shimmer shadows. I cannot wait to dive into this palette. I'm going to be creating 3 looks for you guys today, and I just love that they gave us a cool and a warm tone side. Now, with every Nomad Cosmetics release, there is always something more behind the release. It's never just, here's a new palette, have fun with it. No, Nomad Cosmetics, they do things very differently. So included with every order is a postcard that represents the destination of the palette. And in case you're unfamiliar with Nomad Cosmetics, they are a travel themed makeup brand, an indie makeup brand from Texas. So the destination is made famous by the story of Romeo and Juliet, Verona, with its picturesque pizzas, charming cafes, and immaculate architecture. This is the perfect setting for any love story. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to Italy? I've always wanted to travel to Italy. One day I am definitely going to get there. So Nomad Cosmetics has a very unique way of describing the layout of this palette. So it says that on the left, which is the warm tone side, that's meant to represent the fiery love that Romeo and Juliet had for each other. And the cool tone side, which is on the right, represents their unfortunate, sorrowful death. Now, the cause behind the Verona palette is going to be the World Wildlife Fund. So Nomad Cosmetics will donate a portion of the proceeds from the Verona palette to this fund that protects all animals, including lovebirds. And all of that is written right here on the postcard. You will receive that postcard with your order. Now, something very unique to this release is the inclusion of this envelope and this little card. This is the Juliet Club of Verona. It says, tell your love story or ask for love advice from Juliet and receive a reply from the most famous heroine in literature. So it does give you a list of instructions on how to get your letter to Juliet. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put your letter in this envelope right here. You're going to want to make sure to put your address up here at the top. That way you can receive that reply from Juliet, and you're going to put this envelope that contains your letter inside this envelope that's addressed to Nomad Cosmetics. It is a prepaid envelope, and Nomad Cosmetics is going to send your letter off to Verona. How cute is that? I love this concept. I had never heard of this before, and I think those are just the extra touches that Nomad Cosmetics does to make their releases that much more interesting. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to dive into this palette. If it is your first time here on my channel, I want to say hello and welcome to all of you. My name is Steph, and this is what I love to do. I love trying out new makeup. I love creating multiple looks with eyeshadow palettes. I just love trying makeup and talking about makeup. If you feel the same way, then maybe this is somewhere you want to be on a regular basis, because let's face it, I upload a lot of videos. If you like this content, do me a favor and click on the subscribe button and hit the bell next to it. That way you'll be notified every time I do drop a new video. And if you're a fan of Nomad Cosmetics, maybe you've never heard of Nomad Cosmetics and you think this is a very interesting color story, give this video a thumbs up before you go. I will have everything that I'm wearing, which I'm testing out a new foundation. Everything will be linked and listed in the description box, and some of those links might be affiliate links. So if you do end up shopping through them, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. Let's start creating 3 looks with the new Nomad Cosmetics Verona eyeshadow palette, Verona Love and Death palette, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, they will be selling these as singles, so that's great. You guys want to see this palette in action? keep on watching. Now I've already primed my eyelids with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer, so I'm ready. I'm ready for this two-sided palette for this cool and warm tone color story. I love mixing cool and warm tone shades together. I don't have a problem doing that at all. I think what I'm going to do, I feel like I want to use the shade over here, and I'm loving this gold shade. I definitely want to use the gold with like the grays. I think that's a beautiful contrast. So I'll start first. Maybe I should start first with that, right? That's really what I've been wanting to do. So I think I'm going to start with this shade, and then I'm going to go into this shade, and maybe I'll bring in some of the black. The first shade I'm going to start off with is called Tomb. Now I'm taking the shade Tomb on a Rephr 15. Now on a Rephr 14, I'm taking the shade Inferno, which is the darker gray. And I'm just going to be building this up on the outer corner as well as in the crease. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go into that matte black. That shade is called Death. I'm just going to focus it right out here. That is a nice matte black. Really pigmented and very easy to work with. Wow. Wow, that just totally amped up the look. Now we're gonna go into this beautiful gold shade. I'm gonna take that on my new Morphe M709 and I'm gonna spray it. I'm not gonna do any like glitter glue or anything. I think it'll be okay with just spraying the brush. We'll find out right now. Love it. Ooh, that is so pretty. The shade is almost like a topper shade, but it definitely goes a longer way than a topper does. Like it has more payoff than a topper does, but you could easily use it as a topper if that all makes sense. I'm just gonna run my Rephr 14 right in here just to blend a little bit better. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to move over here to the warm tone side of the palette and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I believe this one is called Quill. I'm going to use my Rephr 26. That's a nice red. That's an impressive red. Wow. Now I'm going to bring that gold shade down right here on the inner corner of the lower lash line. And I'm using a damp Rephr 03. Ooh, I love it. Okay, guys, I'm going to add some of the finishing touches. I think I'm going to do lashes today, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 1. Okay, guys, so here is the completed look number 1. The mascara I'll be using in today's video is the Rare Beauty mascara. For the top lash line, I also used a Rare Beauty eyeliner. The lashes I am using in today's video are the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes, and for the lower waterline, I went in with a ColourPop cream gel liner. This one is in the shade Cherry Pie. I love the way the look turned out. I love the gold with the gray and black and then that red lower lash line. Ooh, I think it's a really nice Valentine's Day look. What do you guys think? So let's move over to the left eye and we'll start working on look number 2. So I think I'm going to start off with this shade right here. I kind of want to use this shimmer shadow. This looks really pretty. So the shade I'm starting off with is called Balcony. I'm going to take Balcony on a BK 211. Now there is a little bit of kick up in the pan with these shadows, so just be careful. So far, these mattes have been blending really well, really easy to work with. As I think most Nomad Cosmetics matte shadows are, they really have a good formula, very pigmented formula, but it's easy to work with, easy to blend. Now I'm going to go into this shade right here. This one's called Rose, and I'm going to keep using the same BK brush. Now I'm going to move over to the cool tone side of the palette, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This one is called Dark. And I'm taking this shade on a Rephr 13, and we'll use this to deepen up the outer corner. Wow, that's perfect. We'll deepen up the outer corner and the crease. Wow, that's a nice shade. And it's blending on top of those other mattes perfectly. All right, now we're gonna go into this shimmer shadow. This one's called Cupid. And I'm using a damp Morphe M124. I love that shimmer. That is so pretty. It has like pink and purple shifts to it. Now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Light. And I'm taking that on a Rephr 26. Now on a damp Rephr 03, I'm going to go into this shimmer shadow called Romeo. Now I'm going to add a little bit of Cupid right in here just to brighten it up a little bit. Did feel a little bit of fallout, but I didn't go back and spray the brush, so that's probably why. Now I'm going to go back in with this shade over here. This one's called Dark, and I'm going to keep that really close to the lower lash line just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. Okay guys, I am gonna do the finishing touches off camera, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 2. Okay guys, here's the completed look number 2. Same everything, but for the lower lash line, another ColourPop cream gel liner. This is one that's kind of new to my stash. This one is called Fruit Fantasy. I've definitely been getting a lot of use out of this shade. It's a nice shade when you're creating like pink, purple, and red tone eye looks. This is a good one from ColourPop. Love it. I love the way both of these looks turned out. Between the two, I think this one is my favorite though. I just love the contrast of the gold with the gray. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm going to take some quick pictures and then I'll come right back. I think I'm going to remove this look because I love this one too much, and we'll start creating the third look with the Nomad Verona palette. All right, so what do we want to do for look number 3? I feel like we need to play with the blue shades a little bit. This shade also looks really pretty. Like these 3 shades would make a beautiful look just all on their own. Let's see. I think I will go in first with, I'm going to try this shade and then I'm going to work into the blue. I'm going to see what combining those two mattes does. So this first shade is called Dagger, and I'm taking this shade on a BK 212. Now on a Rephr 13, I'm going into the matte blue called Poison. You know what? I think we can do a little halo eye with this look right here. And I'm using the perfect brush to do a halo eye with, the Rephr 13. Perfect for halo eyes. All right, so now we're gonna go into this beautiful blue shimmer. This one's called Juliet. And I'm using a damp Morphe M124. That is such a beautiful shade. A couple of these shades are reminding me of the Whistler Snow Lodge palette. These 2 shades in particular, these 2 blue shades. So I'm going to want to compare those before we wrap up today's video. So I think you guys can see the resemblance as well if you have that palette. And that's a beautiful palette, by the way. That was their release around this time last year. Now for the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna do the gray up here. This one is called Inferno. I'm taking this shade on a BK 210. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of the blue just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. Just right out here, like this outer half. Now with the same BK Beauty brush, I'm going to bring that blue shimmer called Juliet right here to the inner corner. That is so pretty. Okay guys, I'm going to add finishing touches. Be right back to show you the completed look number 3. Okay guys, here's the completed look number 3. What do you guys think? Same everything with the exception of the lower waterline. I went in with my favorite blue liner, the one from Give by Gwen Stefani. It's in the shade Bathwater. Okay, 3 looks later, I am ready to give you guys my final thoughts on this new Nomad Cosmetics Verona palette. I had so much fun playing with this new Verona palette, the Romeo and Juliet palette from Nomad Cosmetics. I think the entire concept is perfect. I love that this is a Valentine's Day release as well. And I especially love that this palette is two-sided. We have the cool tone side right here because I know a lot of you love your cool tone shadows. And then we have the warm side over here. I know there's quite a few of you that you don't really care for red shadow, but this is very nicely done. The matte shades are impeccable. Nomad Cosmetics has a very nice matte formula and they definitely included it in this palette. I love that the shimmers are sparkly, they're beautiful. Definitely spray your brush to get the most impact or lay down some NYX glitter primer. Either way, they're beautiful and I didn't really get much fallout from them, just a little here and there, so I don't necessarily feel like you need to do your eyes first unless that's just the way you normally do your makeup. But I think if you pick this palette up, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it over the Valentine's Day holiday. I mean, you have a lot to work with here. We're getting 18 shadows. Usually from Nomad we usually get like 15 shadows, but this is a special palette, Verona Romeo and Juliet, the Love and Death palette. I think they did a fantastic job. I even love the little love letter, well not love letter, but love advice letter that you can send to Juliet over in Verona and they're gonna send you a response. She's going to reply. I think that's just such a cute little idea. And they even included the prepaid envelope so you guys can participate in this. Nomad Cosmetics, they think of everything, and even still while they're designing these palettes and coming up with these amazing color stories, they never forget to give back. And that is one thing that I especially love about this brand. They give back to a lot of charities that support animals, and I am a big animal lover. I love supporting animal charities whenever I can, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this is something that Nomad Cosmetics does with every release. They donate a portion of the proceeds to benefit a special charity that is near and dear to their hearts. This palette is going to be near and dear to my heart because I am giving it 2 thumbs up. Beautiful. I loved it. And there was only a couple shades that I didn't get to use. Like I didn't get to use this one. I didn't get to use this one. And I didn't use this light shade. Oh, I could have easily included that. I totally forgot. But there was only 3 shades that I didn't get to use. It did swatch out really well. And I'm happy with it. Cover art, everything. I just think it's a fantastic palette. It is cruelty free and it's also vegan. I did pull out the Whistler palette because this is the Whistler palette, and these are the shades right here that I felt were similar to the blue shades. So I want to just swatch these really quick. So here is the blue, the matte blue from Whistler. Love it. This is one of my favorite matte blue shadows. And then let me swatch the one. Oh, I can already tell they're different. The one in the Verona palette is more navy blue. Whistler and Verona right there. Now I'm going to swatch this blue shimmer. This blue shimmer in the Whistler palette has a little bit of a lilac shift to it. It's a very pretty shimmer. You can see that there. And then let me swatch the one in Verona. Oh yeah, it's different. It's different. They're just kind of similar, you know. I hadn't used the Whistler palette in a while. But there you can see, this is Verona, that's Whistler. I would say those are a little more similar than the matte shades are, but beautiful, beautiful. Nice shimmers, nice mattes. I think Whistler might be on sale. It was over the holidays, I believe. So if you picked this one up, you picked up a fantastic palette. But if you're looking to add a new indie eyeshadow palette to your stash, this one is totally worth it. This drops once again on Tuesday, January the 24th. It retails for $47 and you can use my code STEFF10 and that'll give you 10% off of your Nomad Cosmetics order. Let me know what you thought of the 3 looks I created. Are you team 1, 2, 3, none, all? Sound off in the comments down below. Let me know if the Verona palette is gonna be in your future. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. So you all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. I'll see y'all very soon. Bye.